The Lakeside Conspiracy, a fight for my father's legacy. I'd barely set foot in my father's lakeside cabin, still reeling from his passing, when my phone pinged with an Amazon notification that stopped me cold. Verification required. Confirm seller information for Lakeside cabin. My heart sank. That cabin wasn't just a house site, it was my dad's pride, built with his own hands, every nail a testament to his grit. I'd never listed it for sale. Clicking the link, I saw photos of the cozy interior, a price so low it was insulting, $180,000 for a property worth at least $450,000, and the seller's name, Margaret Hensley, president of the Willow Creek Homeowners Association. The same Margaret who'd hounded my father with petty fines until his final days. I canceled my flight back to Denver, rented a car, and sped 6 hours to Willow Creek. When I arrived, there she was, showing a young couple around my cabin like she owned it. What unfolded next was a battle that exposed a web of greed, betrayal, and a community fighting to reclaim its soul. I'm Richard Bennett, a 52-year-old cybersecurity analyst who thought grief was the worst thing I'd face after losing my dad, Tom. But as I stood in the gravel driveway at dawn, watching Margaret wave her arms at the dock where Dad taught me to fish, rage replaced sorrow. She was spinning lies about reasonable property taxes and minimal HOA fees to the couple, who nodded eagerly, snapping photos. I stepped out of my car, phone recording, ready to confront her. The moment Margaret saw me, her face cycled from shock to fury. Before I could speak, she dialed 911, shrieking, "There's an intruder at 2247 Lakeview Drive. He's threatening me and my clients." The couple froze, confused, as I stood there, calmly filming her Oscar-worthy performance. My cybersecurity instincts kicked in. Back in Denver, I traced the Amazon listings photos to an IP address tied to Willow Creek's neighborhood Wi-Fi, uploaded just 2 days earlier. Digging deeper, I found Margaret had listed the cabin 3 times in the past month, each with different prices and descriptions, likely scamming multiple buyers with fake deposits. She wasn't just stealing my home, she was running a con. But she didn't know my dad, ever the cautious contractor, had installed security cameras after a string of local break-ins. Every step she took inside was recorded in high definition, stored on a cloud I could access remotely. When Deputy John Carter pulled up, I recognized him instantly. He'd been like a brother to me growing up, spending summers at our cabin while his parents worked long shifts. But today, his badge gleamed, and his hand rested on his duty belt, all business. "Morning, Richard," he said cautiously. "Got a call about a disturbance." Margaret shoved herself between us, clutching her phone like a shield. "Officer, this man's harassing my clients and refusing to leave private property." I handed John my deed and inheritance papers, keeping my voice steady despite the urge to scream. Margaret countered with a folder of her own, claiming the HOA had a lien on the cabin due to unpaid fees and violations. The timing was too perfect, her documents too polished. Worse, John said the county records system was down for maintenance, delaying verification. He asked us both to stay away until the county could confirm ownership. That night, in a dingy motel room at Willow Creek Lodge, I dug deeper. Phone records showed a 14-minute call from Margaret's number to the county records office, placed 36 minutes before John arrived. The maintenance was no coincidence. Someone had triggered a fake system shutdown. Cross-referencing property records, I uncovered a chilling pattern. Over 18 months, 6 Willow Creek homes had faced HOA disputes or quick sales to cash buyers, all linked to a law office owned by Leonard Price, the attorney who'd badgered Dad over HOA rules until his death. Margaret wasn't acting alone, she was part of a predatory network. The next morning, a soft knock woke me. Mrs. Evelyn Wong, my dad's 82-year-old neighbor, stood at my door, her face grim. She handed me a thick envelope. "Richard, I've been watching Margaret for months," she said, her voice steady despite her age. Inside were photos of Margaret sneaking into homes, logs of suspicious visitors, and audio recordings captured via a baby monitor app. One recording was damning. Margaret and Leonard discussing how to target emotionally compromised heirs like me, with my cabin as their biggest score yet. They'd fabricated HOA violations to justify seizures, exploiting grief to steal homes. Margaret fought back viciously. By noon, my phone buzzed with texts accusing me of drug trafficking, based on a photo of me carrying a hospital pharmacy bag Dad's pain meds from his final days. Fake social media profiles, crafted with eerie precision, spread lies about my criminal activities. Neighbors who'd mourned at Dad's funeral now shunned me, sharing Margaret's posts in the Willow Creek community group. The betrayal stung, but her overreach backfired. John called, his voice tight. "Richard, those drug claims are baseless. Margaret's got a history of embezzlement from another HOA. The case was dropped, but it's a red flag." I decided to go on the offensive. That evening, I hosted a live stream, joined by Mrs. Wong. With 2,000 viewers, I dismantled Margaret's lies, showing the pharmacy bag's contents and explaining Dad's illness. Then Mrs. Wong played her recordings, exposing Margaret and Leonard's scheme. The chat exploded when a viewer, Sarah Thompson, the woman from the couple touring my cabin, revealed Margaret had taken a $5,000 deposit from them. 3 other families shared similar stories of fraudulent deposits. The tide turned. I was no longer the villain. The next night, the HOA meeting at the Willow Creek Community Center felt like a courtroom. Margaret strode in with Leonard, radiating confidence, but the room was packed with angry residents clutching our group's dossier of evidence. She launched into a speech about protecting property values, but Mrs. Clara Hayes, the elderly treasurer, interrupted, waving bank statements. "Margaret, where's the $47,000 for roof repairs? I see no receipts." Resident Mike Torres stood, accusing her of stealing his shed's deed. Hands shot up as others shared stories of intimidation. Mrs. Wong took the stage, playing the recording of Margaret and Leonard plotting. The room gasped. Leonard shouted about illegal recordings, but his words were drowned out as John and an FBI agent entered. "Margaret Hensley, Leonard Price, you're under arrest for wire fraud, mail fraud, and RICO violations," the agent announced. Handcuffs clicked. Margaret glared at me, hissing, "You've no idea who you're crossing." But her empire had crumbled before 200 witnesses. I reclaimed the cabin that night, sitting on the porch where Dad read his paper, breathing in the scent of his coffee. The FBI traced Margaret's offshore account, claimed to a community fund Dad had secretly set up to help struggling neighbor mortgage aid, medical bills, grocery cards. Mrs. Wong smiled when I told her, unsurprising. "Your father made kindness look like luck," she said. Margaret got 18 months in prison, Leonard 3 years in disbarment. The HOA fund was restored, with new transparent bylaws. The community healed through tough conversations. Mrs. Hayes apologized tearfully in the grocery store, ashamed for believing Margaret's lies. I turned the cabin into the Bennett Family Legacy Fund, hosting grief groups and financial workshops, with Mrs. Wong as advisory chair. A year later, at the Willow Creek Unity Barbecue, I watched kids fish and neighbors laugh, my phone buzzing with a prison message from Margaret. "Your father would be proud." I'm sorry. She'd served 14 months, now working quietly at an insurance office 3 states away. Willow Creek thrives, property values up, the cabin a community hub. Dad's legacy lives on, stronger than ever. What's your take on this? Have you faced injustice or abuse of power in your life? Share your story in the comments. Do you think standing up is worth the fight, or is it better to walk away? Let's debate what justice really means.